This is Garrett J. White, the authentic entrepreneur, coming at you real, coming at you raw, and coming at you relevant. And this, my friends, is the Daily Download. Well, let's get to it, because this week you already know I'm not on the Snap, because the Snap has been deactivated. We're on the... Okay, whew. The clap is way more powerful than the snap. I'm just here to tell you. So when we look at Principle 3 here at the Pay to Play Academy, which is power is certainty. Power is certainty. Now, to begin this, there's two very different conversations, power and force. And I'm going to use an analogy when it comes to raising my daughter. Now, my daughter's about to turn 4 years old, and God bless her, she is just like me. So she has both my blessings and my curse. She has both my strength and my weakness. Here's the thing you get to know about warriors, which is the energy that my daughter comes from, is that warriors don't do so well when you tell them what to do. Actually, anything you tell a warrior to do, they typically want to do the opposite of what you said. Actually, one of the best ways to inspire a warrior is to tell them what? To tell them they can't do it. And then all of a sudden they're trying to do it. Well, my daughter's no different. Here's the thing I found with my daughter, though, when it comes to bedtime. My daughter knows she can get away with a few things with me like she can't get away with my wife. And why is that? Because I got this idea that my daughter should actually have choice in life, instead of being forced to do everything. Why? Because I was raised in a situation in my life where I had some agency, but most of what I was told to do every single day was forced. I was being told, do this, do this, do this, do this, do this. Whether it came to church, whether it came to money, whether it came to my body, whether it came to what time I went to sleep, whether it came to whatever. It was like, here's a list of perfection, and this is how you do it. So I was like, you know what, I'm not going to create that for my daughter. I'm going to create choice. Well, in creating that, I created new problems. Right? And as I say, all problems are followed by possibilities, and all possibilities create new problems. And in this space, I created new problems for my daughter. Well, I was sitting in a situation one night a few weeks ago, and she would not go to sleep. I mean, just would not go to sleep. And she comes into our bed at the middle of the night all the time. It's like pure nonsense, because I'm like this much of the bed. I got a 6, 7-month pregnant wife, 4-year-old daughter in the middle, and I've got like this much of the bed. So I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to put my daughter to bed, and I'm like, okay, this is not going to work. Now, power is certainty. Certainty is the knowingness that I can create solutions to the problems in which I'm experiencing. That all chaos and hell can break loose around me, but in that space I still have access to truth, and I have access to spirit. I have access to inspiration. But see, inspiration is the gateway to power, and power is certainty. Certainty is a knowing. Power is the movement, or the capacity to act in a certain way, which is to act under spirit. So I'm sitting there trying to put my daughter to bed, right? And she's not going to bed. So I decide I am going to meditate. No, I didn't decide I was going to meditate. I was pissed. It was like 11 o'clock at night. My daughter's not going to bed. And so I picked her up and I threw her onto the bed. I said, stay on the bed or I will duct tape you to the bedpost. Stay in your bed. So my daughter starts crying and she's like totally upset, etc. And I walk out of the bedroom and I'm standing there with myself and I'm like, And I said, self, you are a retard. You just did against everything you stand for and against one of the principles of the Pay to Play Academy, which is power certainty. You were uncertain, and in your uncertainty, you created force. And using force, you had to use manipulation, and you had to force your daughter to do something. So what would it take for you to inspire her? So the next night, I tried something different. We laid down in bed together, and I took her through a process of breathing. And I taught her how to meditate. She's been doing this for about 2 years, but I taught her a different form of meditation through breath awareness. And I was amazed that here was this little girl that's almost 4 years old who lays in bed and who begins to breathe and to focus on her breath. And as Eckhart Tolle teaches in The Power of Now, that when we focus on the breath itself, what ends up occurring is that we become present to the now. And in this space, I watched my daughter, who's not even 4, become present. And in that space, the result I was wanting occurred, and the result she was wanting occurred, and the certainty I felt in that teaching moment was radically different than the uncertainty I felt the day before in force. So when you look at your world and you look at where you're at, how often you've fallen into power and how often you've fallen into force, and what certainty are you lacking, because force is a driven action of your life. Make some comments down below and chime in. My name is Garrett J. White, and this has been the Daily Download.